We're here at the Swiss Cham Australia 40-year celebration at the wonderful Intercontinental here in Sydney. Now, we've got the absolute pleasure of having all four, the past and current general managers of Swiss Cham in all its forms. So to start with, we have the amazing Anne. Anne, tell us about your journey and how this all started and how you set such a high bar for these GMs.
Well, in 1985, the Swiss Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, then called SACI for short, was registered in New South Wales as a company. I fell in love with Sydney. So I got in contact with the Swiss company. They had a subsidiary here, and the managing director there, called Leslie Lofthouse, said to me, "We have a project. We want to open a full-time office for the Swiss Australian Chamber of Commerce. It's a project. We don't know if we're going to get the money, the approval." It took a year. I got a phone call. "Okay, we got approval, we got the money, we got an office in Edgecliff. Your title, Executive Officer of the Swiss Australian Chamber of Commerce." 12 and a half years later, 2002, we had about 220 members. We've done trade exhibitions. For me personally, it was time to go. 12 years is a long time. I put an advertisement looking for replacement, and one day in my office in Edgecliff, there was a knock on the door.
Yep.
And you continue with that.
Okay, great. Well, we know who knocked on the door. So, Dean, tell us about your journey and how, from that knock on the door, what evolved next.
Thank you, and lovely to have this opportunity to celebrate 40 years. Congratulations to all the general managers and for kicking it off, of course. I took over in 2002. I saw that ad. I'd just come back from Europe, from Switzerland, and I was looking at my next role, and I thought I'll have a look at the Swiss Chamber because I'm half Swiss to see which Swiss businesses are active in Australia. And instead of finding a Swiss business that I could join, I found the ad that Anna posted. So it was serendipity, and I thought, wow, that could be me. So instead of sending in a reply or a letter, I jumped in the car and came straight over to the Edgecliff Centre. So, and from there I was there for 5 years. We continued the growth. We got it up to 330 members during my time. I think we had about 120 events, culminating also in the 20th anniversary of Swiss Cham, and now, of course, 20 years on, which I can't believe. We're here to celebrate 40 years, and Marcel took over from me. Thank you.
Thanks, Dean. And as far as I remember, I think I met Dean a couple of times during networking functions. And at one occasion he said, "Look, I'm actually leaving and we were going to be recruiting for a new general manager." And I said, "Oh, hold on, I've studied international relations and it's kind of somewhat remotely related. Tell me what I have to do to apply for that job." And I was lucky to get that job, and I never looked back. I think it was one of my best experiences in my whole life. The people you meet from different industries, different backgrounds, different levels within organizations, I think that was the biggest learning curve in my whole life, and that's what I'm going to take with me. I hope I contributed to the evolution of Swiss Cham, and looking at tonight's event, I think I did, and I think Martin, who when I started was on the board, and then just when I decided I wanted to leave, he contacted me. Hey man, I'm back in Australia. Is there anything going on? I said, "Oh, look, maybe there is something you can take over from me." And I think he took it from there and never looked back.
That's right, yes. It's another insider job, you know. I took over from Marcel, which I knew. I worked with Dean as treasurer from the chamber. I worked with Anne during the Olympics for the chamber as a board member. So it's history happening here, and I don't look back. It's great. I like it. The connections with the Swiss businesses, and I have a few more years to go before I retire, and let's see what we get that up for another general manager.
Well, yes, maybe you want to go full circle, Anne, and restart. But I have to say, Marcel, that was the best Martin impersonation I've ever heard. That was great. You just did a great job. But congratulations to all four of you. I mean, the 40 years that has been presented tonight, it's truly inspiring. It's got such love and camaraderie and friendship in the room. So I'm sure all of you have contributed that amazingly. So well done to all of you, and I'm sure there's going to be another decades and decades to come and more of your predecessors to follow. So you've set a very high benchmark, and I'm sure that there'll be more and more impressive people coming for the future. Congratulations to you all. Enjoy the night.
Happy birthday!
Happy
Switch
birthday.
on!